It has been said, anyone who divorces his wife must give her a certificate of divorce, but I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife except for sexual immorality, so it seems like there seems to be a loophole, makes her a victim of adultery, and anyone who marries a divorced woman commits adultery. So there was a very fine line of a loophole which needs explanation, okay? But it wasn't like today where we'll get married and then if we don't like it, we'll just get divorced. It wasn't like that. It was a covenant. It was a real serious promise. So serious that God used, to describe the relationship between Him and us, between Him and the church, how much He loves us, how we are His bride and He is the bridegroom. So this is a big thing, right? But there seems to be something. Remember, He was talking 2,000 years ago to people who never needed any reason, like even worse than today. Like there was no court. Like if a guy decided, I don't like you anymore, you can just go and give her a certificate of divorce. But that was not the intent. But this is how it happened. So now what they said is, well, what's your problem, Jesus? Like Moses taught that if you give a certificate of divorce, I can get rid of that woman and I can get married to this other woman. And then you can do it again. That's what it was down to. This is what Jesus is talking about. And He says, I'm telling you the truth. This is a problem. Okay? In order to understand this problem, we have to go to this other place where Jesus was talking, where He explains it a little bit better in Matthew 19. When Jesus had finished saying these things, He left Galilee and went into the region of Judea to the other side of the Jordan, and a large crowd followed Him, and He healed them there. And some Pharisees, see, these are the guys, okay, who knew everything and were trying to be pure, said, I've never done adultery, I've never committed murder, so they never did physically. They asked Him, they came to test Him, to trick Him actually, is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife for any and every reason? So, because that's what they were actually doing, right? And Jesus says, haven't you read? He says, haven't you read it, oh Christian people? Haven't you read it in the Scriptures? That at the beginning, the Creator made them male and female. Male and female. And said, for this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united with his wife. And the two will become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate. Now, this is so important, okay? I was trying to figure out this one flesh thing. Okay, I kind of thought I know it. But it's like I was thinking, I want to give you this example, okay? I'm going to use Cameron. Lada and Ken. They left mom and dad. And they became one. Okay? And it's impossible to understand how much that one is. But here's how you cannot separate it. Cameron is the one. You understanding this? You cannot separate what God has put together, because once you become one, you cannot fully ever, in the ideal, separate, because Cameron is both you and Lada. Ken and Lada. He is the fulfillment of this oneness and this union. What a joy when it happens the way God wants it. Now, it's not just that, okay, but it is incredible. It is, you are one, not just because, you both like to eat, you are one not just because you both like to eat rice and you like wonton soup. You are one because you're so close together that you can never be separated. And on top of it, the proof is Cameron. You cannot cut Cameron in half. He has both you, Lada, and Ken. I was going to use Jonathan and Marika and my granddaughter, okay, but it just seems appropriate. They're not here. But I see it in them too. I go, Jonathan and Marika, you are one. You can't let anything separate you, and even if you think you can, you can't. You become one. Even if you go, now, what if I have no children? Yeah, same thing, okay? You're still one.